Welcome to the Nathaniel Noble Jr. podcast, where we talk about life, because it happens to everyone. Thank you for joining your host, Nathaniel Noble Jr., bringing you real people, real conversations, and real perspectives to help you grow and stay inspired. So sit back, tap in, and let's talk about life.
You're listening to the Nathaniel Noble Jr. Podcast.
Welcome this week's guest on the Nathaniel Noble Jr. Podcast. This guy he has a passion for coaching, counseling, and educating people on the benefits of taking control of their own life. I'm glad, because I'm not the only one trying to help people. So welcome this week's guest, Mr. Benji Banks. What's up, buddy?
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for having me on. And again, big ups to you for creating a platform that gets the information out there. So big ups to you, Mr. Noble, for that.
Yeah, man. I like this format because it's a lot of voices out there that's not being heard, that needs to be heard. So anything I can do to get positivity out there and light to shine in the darkness, I'm all for it, man. I reach out to people.
Yes.
I'm glad you said yes, and that just, everybody wins.
Yes, sir. That's a fact. And there's definitely a lot of voices out there. And so we appreciate the solid ones that get the information out there that we need to put in our ears. So appreciate that.
Yeah, unscripted, unpaid, just like, hey, this coming from the heart and the soul. And it's like, hey, God is speaking through these people, and these people need to be heard in the world, because the world is going cuckoo. Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, man.
It's been crazy since it started. But shout out to the lights that's making the way straight. You know what I'm saying? So we can see a little bit better out here. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you take your mind off the prize, boy, it looks dim. It's hopeless. And you gotta have that hope. And like, hey, it's like if you don't see it, hey, you got to become what you want to see. And that's what that's how I look at it.
Man, we come from where, you got to feel your way through the dark sometimes. So,
but yeah, we didn't hit that.
We try to make it.
We didn't kick that pinky toe and hit that shin too many times. So
that is a fact. We don't want to hit that no more. We're like, hold on.
Leave the breadcrumbs to the next person so they can see the trail, so they won't hit the same obstacles.
Yes, sir. That's a fact.
Yeah, so Benny, when is it Benjamin? Is it Benjamin or
Benjamin? Listen, it's Benji, Benjamin. In the Spanish language, it's Benjamin. You get what I'm saying? I have a good friend. His grandma's like 90 years old. She calls me Reggie, so it don't matter, man. You get what I'm saying?
The name has been there and done that, huh?
Yes, sir.
So where does it all start? Where did you come up with this? Where did it begin? What's your story in the beginning and your journey and where you're going?
Man, I come from Dallas, Texas, originally from Dallas, Texas, and grew up there. And I have one of the craziest stories out there. Mom and little brother were killed at 8 years old.
Oh my God.
I was fortunate enough to leave the house early to go play football that day, 1987, and was blessed to be alive. You know what I mean? Because I should have stayed home that day. And grateful to the Lord that he took a little fella like myself and said, hey, leave the house early, before the kidnapping took place of my mom and 3-year-old brother. And that story is actually still online. It's called The Blood Vow. And if you type in the Evelyn Banks murder case from Dallas, Texas, that whole story will pop up. And it's just a crazy story of how God has protected me throughout my life when I didn't know, and was fortunate enough, blessed enough, that when I turned, of course, years later, I was fortunate enough, I had an uncle that lived in California that literally came to my grandfather's funeral and said, the Lord told me to come get you. And I had no idea about the Holy Ghost, the Lord, none of that type of stuff. And I was fortunate enough, man, to be able to get out of Texas and come to California, where I currently reside. And I'm from Texas, but I grew up and became a man in California. So Cali's home. So
kind of sound like my story. I grew up in New Orleans, but I became a man in California.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hey
sir.
man, sorry to hear about your mom and your brother. That's horrible, horrifying.
Yes, it's a terrible story, but at that age, you're 8 years old. Family was dabbling into, a lot of illegal stuff, and it's got a whole lot of moving parts and some pieces in it that you as a kid you just didn't know about. And as you grow older, the books are out there, the stories are out there, the 48, what they call that show, 48.
48 hours?
Yeah,
the first 48 or something?
First 48, and the stories are out there. And so as you grow older, you become, more inclined to finding out how you was raised and how you grew up. And you start finding these little pieces of what happened. And it just kind of, shakes you to your core, but you realize also in that space that God's been protecting you the entire time. So you're grateful for that part. You live with the tragedy, the drama, but you're grateful that you're on a different trajectory than you were growing up. So,
wow, yeah, that's interesting. You don't have a book on that, yeah?
You know what? I don't yet, and the catch is that it's so deep. It's like a lot of stuff you got to dive into. And my spirit hasn't been settled for years on actually writing the book. But I think this year will be the year that we finally me and my older brother get the book written. We've actually did a show on it, which is actually online called the Fire Session Podcast. And that's live, and it's called Based on a True Story. And me and my oldest brother were interviewed. And we kind of talk about some things that I didn't know that took place because he was 4 years older than me. So he saw a lot that I didn't know. So, but that would definitely be coming out. But there's a lot attached to it because some people weren't supposed to write books about it because, we became wards of the court and things of that nature. And a lot of stuff was kind of misrepresented. And so there's a lot of red tape that once we release this, it'll be pretty crazy because they thought I was dead. Moving away, leaving Texas and coming to California. The county clerk thought I wasn't living when I called because she owed me some money. So she's like, hold on, this can't be you. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, because, the state made them pay some restitution. And so there was a lot of things that took place. But yeah, it's quite interesting. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of pieces attached to it that kind of give you this depth as a man growing up. So
yeah, it wasn't a friendly beginning.
Nah,
yeah.
Life ain't been kind to me. I tell people this all the time. They ask me why am I so, kind of the way I am about life. And I tell them, life wasn't fair to me when I grew up. And life hasn't ever, so I don't take life for granted. I value my time. I value my energy. I value relationships. I hold those in high regard. And so, yeah, I just respect life, and I respect those that I come in contact with. And that's just kind of how life formed me because of, how you grow up.
Yeah. What made you get into mentorship?
Well, mentorship became the thing because I realized that if my uncle didn't sacrifice, he came to Texas to come get me. And I realized that I would be dead if he didn't make that decision to actually come get me. And that kind of resonated in my spirit as I got older. He sacrificed, came, got me on a plane, brought me out here to California, and basically took me in as like his own kid. You know what I mean? Let me live in his house. I ain't had no money. You get what I'm saying? I ain't had no skills. We knew how to hustle and sell and do this and do that. But when you come into a space where that's not allowed, you know what I mean? You're giving this out. And it's a new life, but you ain't never had to work a day in your life. You know what I mean? You know how to hustle, but you don't know how to get up at 3:00 in the morning, go to a regular job and, stick with that for 25 years, 30 years and build in that way with a woman or with a wife. And that was foreign to me. And so I realized that if he didn't make that sacrifice, I wouldn't be living today. So I'm grateful for that. And that kind of shapes my reality. And when I'm dealing with people today, because man, an opportunity, you could, for some of us, we may get one great opportunity. You know what I mean? We don't get multiple. You know what I mean? So you got to strike while the iron is hot. And that's kind of the headspace I kind of live in when I talk about mentoring.
Yeah, and you also does counseling? It's in the same.
Yes, sir. Yes, board certified counselor, Christian counseling, but also shout out to my wife. She's not here right now, but she's a licensed family marriage therapist. And so having our own private practice, there's a lot that I'm able to glean from my wife, and being that I come from the street life and she comes from, corporate America structure. You get what I'm saying? It's just this great ball of greatness in there, because you have both of these lifestyles that when you're in there, when you're counseling, when you're talking, and it just gives you this broader scale of life to see life through. So
kind of like a full circle approach, huh? From both worlds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you're able to, at that space, not only touch people who kind of look at you now and say, you ain't been through nothing. And then when I open up and I tell them my story, because all they see is, all
see
they
the polished,
now,
the polished version now.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? But it took years and years and years of work to even get to this space. It took a lot of grace from the Lord. It took a lot of saying no, recognizing what you like, what you don't like. And it took a lot of grace to get to this point. So I'm grateful for that. But it's a lot of decision making. As you grow and mature and become a man, there's some decisions you got to make. And some of those decisions can be very catastrophic to you. But if you make the right ones, 9 times out of 10, you'll come out on top.
Yeah, I can vouch for that, because a lot of time I was learning from other people's mistakes.
That's a fact.
They saved me a lot of trial and error just watching what they did. And I'm like, okay, that ain't gonna work, so don't even repeat that.
Right. And now, when you grow up in the streets, you don't see a lot of positive images. You know what I mean? You see the wino on the corner. You see the women. You see the pimp. You see the drug dealer. You see all of those things, and that's what you gravitate to. That's what you know. And I'm grateful that when I tried to be in that lifestyle, I'm grateful that I was conscious enough to recognize every time I tried to do that, it didn't work.
Well, deep inside, it's like, this ain't really me.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? And the greatest gift I think that God has given us as humans is to be true to yourself. And we got a lot of copycats out there, people trying to be something that they aren't. And I was in that growing up. I wanted to smoke weed. I wanted to party. I wanted to do this. I wanted to have 15 women to pull up on. I wanted to have the datings. And there's nothing wrong with those, having things, but the way we go about getting them a lot of times can be crazy. And it sends a crazy message out there. So
for the next generation watching you, I want to be like him.
Right. Especially when you got daughters. When you got daughters and
whole life change. Whole perspective change.
You got grandbabies who's girls, and you see things and you're like, oh yeah, okay. So I'm grateful that I was fortunate enough to make decisions that didn't get me killed. You get what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that. So
now you reach back and pay it forward to kind of direct young fellas or young. Yes,
sir. Because at the end of the day, you can't be selfish with your gift, your talent. The talent is to be viewed. It's there to be viewed, but somebody's watching you. It's funny because having girls, having daughters, what you see is they go off perception a lot. You can talk to them and try to logic and put all that stuff in their ear. But when you have girls, they see specific things, and that's all they kind of gravitate to. They see you in the kitchen cooking. You get what I'm saying? Or they see you cleaning the house. They see you fussing. They see you. And that's what, if you talk to them, they'll tell you exactly what you've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? The microscope is on you. And you have to be conscious of that. And so as a result, when you know you got people watching you, you move different. you give a different advice when you've made it out. When you've made it out of some circumstances, you look at life a little bit different. And when you've made it out of some of the situations that many of us have come out of, you give different advice. Young blood, don't go that way. Young blood, check under that hood before you buy that car. You get what I'm saying? It look good on the inside, it look good on the outside, but that engine might be terrible. So you got to be careful. So
You're tuned in to the Nathaniel Noble Jr. Podcast, the best podcast in the land.
Everybody needs to start their Live Good membership with Nate, and here's why. If you've been overpaying for supplements, it's time to stop. Live Good gives you premium quality products at prices that actually make sense. No inflated costs, no pressure, just real wellness. And when you join with Nate, you're not doing it alone. You're getting guidance, consistency, and someone who actually cares about your results. This isn't just about supplements. It's about taking control of your health the smart way. Take your supplement game to the next level without breaking your bank. Take the free tour today at joinnatenow.com. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Cool. What else you got going on for us in the near future?
Gosh, man, we're in ministry right now. We've been in ministry since I was 19, 20 years old. And we focus on that a lot, growing churches and being in that space. Music, I'm a writer, so I love writing. I write my own music, and we actually perform them sometimes in our Sunday morning sets. Got a book coming, got a lot of ebooks coming out. We're focusing on right now 5 levels, because what happens is we're getting pulled in so many different directions that we needed to create a space to where you could get all of your teaching, coaching in one space. So if you're in business, we own several businesses, so you can get your business coaching if you're trying to learn how to start a business, or if you want ideas and coaching on how to run a business. I'm well equipped in that, degree in business management, and so we're grateful for that. But you have these spaces. So if you need spiritual guidance, if you need spiritual coaching, if you need mentorship, if you need business coaching, if you need counseling, we're very well equipped to be in those spaces and kind of give you the right material. And the beauty of what we're doing right now is we're tailoring our content to your specific need. So you come to me and you say, hey, Benji, how did you start your business? Or I'm interested in starting mine. Where should I start? How can I get a grant? How can I do this? How can I do that? What we're doing is we're creating this space to where we can create content that is specifically designed for your need. And that kind of alleviates just kind of you in the fluff of it. Yeah, you got to put in some work, you know what I mean, to make it work. But we're going to give you the step-by-step tools at your spot, right where you are, instead of you having to go around and search for everything that you absolutely need, which we're not opposed to. But at the end of the day, we could create the content to get you exactly what you need. All you need to do is write it or come in a session, and you'll be able to be blessed by that.
Good. You got a website they can find you?
Yes, Benji _Banks at Kajabi, KAGJABI.com. And if you are following me on social media under Benji Banks on my Facebook or on my IG, Benji _R_Banks, I can easily get that information to you, and you'll be able to check us out. But I do a lot of social media marketing, so the fastest way to reach me is on social media, because life be going.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have the links in the description so they can click on and find it.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's see. Anything else? I got a segment of the show where I do this is the part of the show where I have my guests leave some positive life nuggets.
Okay. I like that. Yes, sir. You want me to start now, or you want to do a segue into it?
Unless you got something else you want to add.
I mean, listen.
So, like, what's up is your mission and purpose and whatever else you want the people to know about Benji Banks.
I mean, man, I could talk about myself all day. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, for me, it's if you need, like I said, if you need counseling, we are licensed therapists. And I encourage Black men, women, it doesn't matter. Get a good therapy session. Find you a solid therapist, man. It's like finding a good church. You know what I mean? Find you a good pastor. You know what I mean? Find you a good woman. You know what I mean? However you want to, spin it. Find you something good and get in that space, man. There's a lot of challenges that's going to come with addressing the needs that are that come from you, but it's very, very, very rewarding, especially when you are headed in a specific direction. You want to be able to give solid advice to people, man. Don't just throw out ideas out there that don't make no sense. You want to be able to give solid advice out there. So we're very, very capable in that. We have our own practice. So come by, check us out. We have all those links. We have all of that information. We could definitely get you hooked up, or we could do it ourselves. You know what I mean? You could sit in on one of ours. We're in podcasting as well. So that's why when me and Mr. Noble were having the conversation, we were thinking like we needed the proper sound, because we run our own show as well. It's called The Fire Session. And we interview doctors, we interview business owners, we interview, you name it, man. We just kind of got our hands in a lot of spaces to where we can be this Swiss Army knife of making sure that nothing is missed. I kind of think of it in terms of like fivefold ministry. There's the apostle, the prophet, the pastor, the teacher, the evangelist, all of those. And we take that approach and we put it in that that space. So that's kind of how we float. That's kind of how we work.
I like that the Swiss Army knife analogy.
Yes, sir.
Got it all covered in one hand.
Yes, sir. Well, I always say it like this, man. We had to hustle this charm. We had to make something good of what we were given, and I believe in hustling the right way. Right. And so we couldn't sit on our behinds and just not go get it and just not make something happen. It's just we learned to do it legally. Yeah, we learned to do it in a solid way.
Same
so
hustle.
We can sleep at night. Yes, sir.
The same hustle and drive, just legally.
Yes, sir. It's just a different mindset. You don't have to do it illegally. You can go out and make the same money legally that you can illegally, and you can get the same rewards, and you can literally sleep at night.
That's what I was about to say. Sleep at night.
Yes, sir. It's a joy not wondering if somebody about to kick in your dough and because you done stole something from them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's a different type of joy that you can actually sleep well at night, and your conscience isn't seared. So you're solid in that approach. So I dig that. I like the peace of mind.
Yes, and that's priceless.
Yes, sir.
You can't buy that. That's priceless.
That is a fact. That's a fact.
Definitely got to get that from the Creator, because nothing on earth gives you peace.
Man, you know what? Well, hold on. I don't know, man. I was at the beach on Saturday, man, and I got a little peace chilling out there. You know what I'm saying? With them waves blowing.
Who created that environment? Not man.
Well, there you go. That's how you. I like that. I like that.
I'm just
the Lord
saying,
created
anything,
that. Yes, sir.
Anything that gives you authentic peace is from the Lord, not man.
It's from the Lord. That is a fact.
That's the only way I can get it. I can't. The house, the car, the money, the women. That don't bring no peace. You got to go to the master, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I dig that.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's the way I look at it.
No, that's spot on, man. That's
everything else is temporary.
And that's authentic.
Yeah, little stuff around here be temporary, happiness and joy.
Yes,
but nah, you got to go to the Creator of joy and peace.
You right about it.
And no, because when He give it, nobody can take it away from you.
Well, don't have no church in here now.
I'm just saying
that I have.
Yeah,
the world didn't give it.
And the world can't take it
away.
So that's why I don't go to the world for no peace and no joy, no happiness.
You better believe it.
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
there's a price that come with that, and it ain't a good price.
Man, listen, man. I listen. I paid my price
Yes, sir.
very early, so I'm fortunate.
That's right.
I'm fortunate. I paid my price early, and I'm like, I'm glad we on a trajectory
Yes.
of life going in a different way, in a different space. So I'm grateful for that. Trust me, when life whoop you up, man, listen here, it'll humble you. You better believe it.
Yes. So now this is the part of the show where I have my guests leave some positive life nuggets.
Yes, sir. So I would say, man, be grateful. I'm learning as I navigate through life, as you're raising kids, and you've raised your kids and they're heading off to college or they're doing their thing. You got grandbabies, wherever space, whatever life, space life has you right now. Learn to be grateful, because there are some people who are looking out for you. And we don't want to frustrate the grace that they have extended toward us. You got a good auntie, a good grandmama that you live about an hour and a half away, and she come all the way over there to bring you some good greens, some good collard greens, some neck bones, some good. And she get over there and you ungrateful. You got an attitude. You're fussing. You're this, you're that. Man, grandma might not ever pull up on you again. And that could be one of the worst things that you could ever do. But life stems from this place of gratefulness, because at the end of the day, when you are ungrateful, negative things seem to kind of navigate towards you very, very, very easy. And if you aren't careful, you'll find yourself in this negative space where everything is negative. Your relationships are negative. Your money's negative. Your job everything is about a complaint. But when you focus on the fact that out of those 10 crazy things that could have happened, you still got breath in your body. You still got your mental capacity locked in. Your hands are still good. You can go out, make some money. Your feet, you got capacity. You get what I'm saying? So you can go out and do some things. But again, if you're stuck in that negative, ungrateful space, you'll create more trouble than you actually want for your life. So learn to be grateful. Focus on the grateful things, and I promise you, great things start to come your way. And who doesn't like great things? I know I do.
Yes, especially when they're earned.
You better believe it. Well, old folks used to say, bought experience is the best experience. They used to teach us that. So we're grateful that we have some bought experience, but some of it is we just listened. And we put ourselves in a better position. There's a quote that one of my mentors used to say to me: "You are the sum total of who you give your ear to." If you give your ear to negativity all the time, I promise you, that's what's going to come out of your mouth on a consistent basis. But when you let the right people in your ear, things change for you and you see life a little bit different. So
yeah, a lot of growth gonna come out of that.
That's a fact.
It's kind of like when I was coming up young, I used to hang around my grandmother and all the older friends, soak up that knowledge and that wisdom.
Yes,
my
sir.
dad, the old buddies and all that stuff. So I was considered an old soul because I didn't like to hang around the foolishness.
Right.
I'm trying to learn what them old people know.
Right.
They give you the game and the shortcuts.
See, I gravitate to the older folks too. Hanging out, down on the corners. Though Wanos was down there, but they taught me some lessons, man. I'll never forget this. One of the old heads, he was down there on the corner. He was sipping his wine. He was half drunk, whatever. He used to say, "Man, but I'm out here on the corner." He's like, "But my woman at home, she got my check. She good. The house is taken care of. I'm down here."
He relaxing.
Kids is fed. Your X, Y, and Z is done. My girl ain't complaining because I done dropped my check off to her. I done make sure we're good. I'm down here, but I ain't crazy. I know I got to go home after a while. So,
that was his man cave.
That's what you do.
That was his man
Yes,
cave. He didn't have it at the house. He just like, I'm gonna hang out with the homies on the corner and we can shoot the breeze.
Yes, sir.
But the house is taken care of. A lot. Yeah.
I learned from them old heads. Don't drink too much now. Have your drink. Because them boys, they was down there sloppy sometime. Yes, sir. Boy, they was sloppy and they used to drink Thunderbird.
The rent was still paid though.
Yes, sir. They knew they could go home.
Yeah. And they get up Monday morning and go to work. They was accountable.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you can learn a lot, and I'm grateful for that. That I was fortunate enough to have some old heads that kind of poured game into my hard-headed self as a young lad. So I'm fortunate for that, man. I can look back on it now and say it truly was a blessing to me. So
yeah. So and that's kind of like that's where I'm at now. Like I'm late 50s. I'm like, so I'm trying to give out the tips and the shortcuts of life for the youth that listen.
Right.
For the ones that listen. Because anytime I'm around some young people, I'm trying to give them game and shortcuts, and they got all these wild ideas, and they're like, I want to do that. I'm like, okay, but yeah, that's cool, but look at it this angle too.
Right. And teaching them to think a little bit different. Be cool, think outside the box. But at the end of the day, sometimes, you know what I mean, a little wisdom from an old head that's been it and walked in it goes a long way. Now that's for the wise ones. We ain't talking about the ones whose lives is raggedy and they
don't care.
They did nothing. Yeah. So who if you give them your life, you know what I'm saying, they'll mess it up just as worse. But like I said, we're grateful, man, that we put ourselves in some good positions to kind of make some good decisions. So we're grateful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And on that note, I want to thank Mr. Benji Banks for showing up and sharing his story and his wisdom and his giving of his time. And somebody need to hear those messages.
Yes, sir.
That only your ears can receive from the Mr. Banks there.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Mr. Noble. Appreciate you, sir.
Cool. Thank you, brother.
You've heard it exclusively on Nathaniel Noble Jr. Podcast.
This is Benji Banks, and you have been tuning in to the Nathaniel Noble Jr. Podcast. You can find me on Benji_R_Banks on IG, and you can find me also at Benji Banks Reinvented TV on Facebook.
Thanks for listening to Nathaniel Noble Jr. Podcast. The best podcast in your hands. With new episodes every Sunday at noon. Pacific on all podcast platforms. Check out MrNoblePodcast.com for more info. As always, be blessed. Don't stress, because this life is just a big old test. And you're gonna pass with flying colors if you don't quit. Peace.